We're now continuing with the SL MK2. Let's take a look at the first menus on the device. We've already noticed that the SL editor no longer works. I'm not sure if that's gonna change. I haven't heard anything about that yet. And there will be more about the audio interface, as I mentioned before. At the moment, I'm still a bit skeptical about that, because so far, at least with Gig Performer and my M1 Pro, the performance hasn't been what I expect or I'm used to from my RME or my Scarlett. We'll have to see about that. But for now, let's focus on operating the device here and looking at a few menus. Today we are not in the studio, but at my place where I use the SL MK2 as a keyboard for my Gig Performer stuff and to quickly practice at home. That's why you can see my foot here, and I'm only using the phone's audio, but I think that's fine for now. Let's take another look at the surface now, check out the connections again, and we'll just talk about them for a bit before taking a closer look at how to operate the device. We'll start here with the two knobs. When you turn them, you can immediately see what happens. The top one is the audio master. This controls the audio signal that comes in through the interface or is played out via the SL. With this, you can adjust the volume. If you press it, you can mute and unmute the whole thing. You can also see here white and grayed out that it's unmuted. With the second one here, you can now adjust the zone level in this case, although I'm not sure why that's assigned here, since I can also do that with the right one. Then here we see the four knobs, which are responsible for these four parts. Four buttons, which you can also use to control things. They can also take over transport functions here. Then on the left, we have three buttons, one of which has the Studiologic logo. That's for the SL Link. Then here we have settings. Here, what this means right now, I would say, is layer. Then here we have an OK and a cancel. And also a button to switch the display. I'll show you that in a moment. And the knob, which you can turn, move in 4 directions and also press. There's this overview, which we know from the old SL. However, the operation is a bit different. If we click here, we enter the so-called zoom menu. And there we only see one scene, one part. That didn't exist before. Now let's go back. If we turn here, we scroll through the programs. There are already some prepared. But for now, we'll just stay in the very first one, and I'll show you a few things in a moment. First, let's go into the basic settings. To do that, we click here, and now we see the global settings. Here, I can start by transposing. Let's see, it goes 12 up, 12 down. Apparently, octave shifting isn't possible. I think that was possible on the old SL. We're now on version 1.00. I think there's already a newer version. That means in one of the next videos, I'll try to update it. Apparently, this works with the Numa player and no longer with the editor. Because as I mentioned, the editor doesn't work anymore. Then here we have the velocity curve, which we can set to normal, hard, soft, or fixed. Down here, I can then set the fixed velocity, of course from 0 to 127 if I've selected fixed. Here I can adjust the keyboard sensitivity. I'm not entirely sure what exactly this does, but I assume it changes the touch response a bit. Then here we have key sensitivity. That would probably be something similar as well, so a lot will happen there. But we'll take a closer look at that and try it out. And then here we have the balance between the black and white keys. This feature was already available on the old SL. That means, for example, if I'm a bit weaker on the black keys, I can adjust this back and forth so I don't have to press as hard there. Next, you can turn the aftertouch on and off. Here too, you can precisely adjust the sensitivity, ranging from a positive 32 to a negative 32. Then here, we can set globally what we have connected there. For pedal 1, we currently have switch A, but you can set it to switch B. I'll have to check the manual again to see exactly what that is. I assume that one is the opener and the other is the closer. Then here we can set the CC that we use for it. The same here for B, where there's a continuous controller, A and B. And you can actually put a switch on there too, so you can do anything to it. Then I can set the CC again here, and also the minimum value for the CC. Why only the minimum value and not the maximum value? No idea. I actually find it a bit strange, but okay. You can also, as you see here, you can't go down any further, but you can go right and left. There you can also enter the max value. Could you do that somewhere else? No, we couldn't. So as always, this is my first time with the device and I haven't really looked at the manual much either. We're now going to see if the whole thing is intuitive. And if you understand it, that's already pretty good. You can set pedal dry here to special or to continuous and switch. Special is simply the triple pedal. And you can also set here what it should do. So here, for example, you could enter program up, program down and hold. I don't need that because I always just use one program anyway. Then you can also enter minimum and maximum here. Again, if you have the continuous, that is the expression pedal connected, then you can specify what you want for the stick here, on, off. You can set which channel the whole keyboard sends on as the common channel. And then I can set the user interface here to classic or to zoom. If I set it to zoom here, then I'm always in here. Sorry, that's wrong. I don't want that. I want to be in this one. So I'm only saving it here with this button up top. With the other one, you go back. And with this one, you switch. So now, for example, we have zone 1 activated here. We can see here that the signal is being sent via USB on channel 1. And the volume is 100. Now, if I move this to the right here, I can set the range. Here, I can set it to on, off, whatever that is. I don't know what that symbol means yet. We'll have to figure that out. We'll manage it. I just pressed it now, but whatever. Now I'll go here, all right. I think that, yeah, whatever. Let's just see. If I press here now, that means pressing down on the knob, not pushing it down, but pressing it. I get into the menu where I can set the split. And now here, I can apparently just set a two-way split. If I move it to the right, I have the split on top. And if I press to the left, the split is on the bottom. So I set the split here. It's really simple. And with the right button, I can take it out or put it in, you know. So you see what I mean? Now, by pressing here, interestingly, both at once, I can apply it. And that brings me into the multi-split mode. That means I can change my key range on the left here. And if I go to the right, I can change the key range on the right. It's super easy. And now I press apply again and bam, I'm back over here. Now the question is, you know, what do I want to do? If I set this here, only to the right, and then press enter here, then I still have to turn it on. Just press here once, so just bam, bam, bam. No, that one? Oh, right, I have to turn that one on. Exactly, that's so that it's turned on. Now if I... Oh, now I went one too far, sorry. If I'm in here now, you know, so first turn the whole thing on and off. If I click here now, can I, Why isn't it doing it now? Oh, I love this. All right, let's try this again. We're going to the right. Now we're turning it on. Now we press it once and then we should enter edit mode. Exactly. There we go. Now I can set it to the right here. If I press enter now, as we just saw, I only get the simple split. And if I press it again, and now save it here with the check mark, then I have the split on both well. Not a split, but I've set the key range on both sides. So if I go to the left here, I get back to home. We can see that only one zone is active here. The others are disabled, and it also says zoom into enable. What we can do here on the left is if I press this, I can mute it, then the part is muted. And if I turn this, I can change the volume of the zone. I just mentioned that this also works for B. I find that curious. So if I were to press zoom here now, and then here on the second, I also find it curious, for example, that it doesn't just jump to 2 here. And if I press anything here, I actually have to press and hold it, and then it's on, and then I'm immediately in the menu. Kind of like with zoom, where you just have to press it, and then the things turn on. So now the question is, do they also turn off again if I press them like this? No, they don't. So now I can select via this. You can also see which one you're currently in. We've just turned on all 4 for now. And if I press and hold this one, I get into the menu where I can change things. And that's basically the same menu we already know from the old SL. Here we have the 4 controllers. You can see how they're set up. And right below we also have the CC commands that are assigned to them. If I go to the left now, I get to the zone settings where I can turn them on and off. So that's mute, or rather, it looks like I can only mute them here, not actually turn them on or off. I can also give it a name here if I want by clicking on it. We won't do that right now. This question came up in the forum. You can only output via DIN or USB. I think it's a bit of a shame that you can't output through both at the same time, but that's just how it is. I can select the channel. Here I can select the MSB, the LSB, and the program change. Of course, I can also select the channel for that above, since theoretically with the 4 zones I could control 4 different devices. Then the volume. Here I can shift octaves, and that's fun, isn't it? There can't really be octave shifting, can it? That can't actually... We'll have to try that out too. There's no tone generator connected. It's really just menus, you know. We'll test all of that. But this is now Octa SH. 64 octaves is just nonsense. Here I can set transpose globally or just for the zone. Then I can adjust the velocity curve. So now for each zone I can basically adjust everything that I could also set globally in the main menu. I can save that individually for each program, for each zone here if I want. And of course also initialize it here. And down here at the very bottom I have the controllers and can easily switch which CC I want to send. And that's basically the whole trick. If I want to go to 203 now, I just click here, have it set to 203 and can basically configure whatever I want there. If I press X here again, I go back. I could have gone back with that as well. So here in this zoom menu, you basically see the same thing as on the other one. Plus you can see the channel here again. Well, actually you can see the channel again in the keyboard area. This is the volume, I would say. Okay, with this I can control everything with the B, while I'm here in the... So if I'm in this menu now, the knob also controls the volume of zone 3. Honestly, I don't understand why it doesn't do that in the zoom menu. So apparently I can't set anything there. Now I'll go into key range again and we'll take a look at how that looks. Now we can see that it's complete for all zones. And now I can jump up and down here. I'll just go here now. You can also see here, it's on. I'll just click on it now and just set, yeah, just for fun, a split here. Go down here. There we go. We'll leave this one complete and we'll set this one to just the very bottom. There we go. Okay, this one isn't complete. There we go. So now we've created a split across all areas here. Now I click on this. Now this split is also done. Now I can exit here, click here. Ah, okay, let's go back in again. In any case, we can see that the split has remained. There we go. What is this button for? All right, I think that's the door button. So I can switch everything to door. Exactly, to door. And then these buttons here work as transport controls. But I'll double check that as well. So by clicking here, you can turn it on and off. It's really simple. And this button here, that's the SL link. We don't see anything there yet. We'll cover that separately later. That's the connection to the Numa player. That's really cool because then I can control the entire Numa player using just the small display, the 4 knobs, and the control stick. And it really works well. I've already tried it out. There's honestly nothing to complain about. So that's actually a good idea. And if other manufacturers could get on board with this, it would be a wonderful thing. So I'd say we'll stop here for now. Next time we'll connect the Numa player, control everything using this SL link and see how it works. And then we'll try it again without the SL link, just using the Numa player together with the Masterkeyboard like a regular setup.